Movies are just entertainment, right? We go to the theater, eat popcorn, watch the hero defeat the villain, and walk away. But for some people, the line between fiction and reality gets dangerously blurred. From obsessive stalkers inspired by Twilight to tragic events at movie theaters, these are 5 disturbing times fans took their obsession way too far, turning movie fantasies into real-life nightmares. Let's dive in. Number 1. Aurora theater shooting, The Dark Knight Rises. July 20th, 2012 was supposed to be a night filled with excitement. The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan's epic conclusion to his Batman trilogy, premiered to packed theaters across the country. But in Aurora, Colorado, a midnight showing at the Century 16 Theater became the scene of an unimaginable tragedy. James Holmes, a disturbed 24-year-old graduate student, entered through an emergency exit dressed head to toe in tactical gear. He wore body armor, a ballistic helmet, and carried multiple firearms. At first, many thought he was another fan in costume, part of the event. They realized too late that something was very wrong. Holmes threw tear gas canisters into the packed audience, causing panic and confusion. As viewers tried to escape through clouds of gas, he opened fire, shooting indiscriminately into the crowd. Chaos ensued. People screamed, desperately searching for exits as bullets tore through seats and walls. Witnesses later recounted horrific scenes. People wounded, bleeding, pleading for help as emergency services struggled to respond quickly enough. In total, 12 innocent moviegoers lost their lives, and more than 70 others were injured, many severely. The youngest victim was just 6 years old. Holmes later claimed to police he was the Joker, referencing Batman's arch nemesis. His hair was even dyed bright orange to match the villain. This tragedy raised worldwide discussions about mental health, gun laws, and the potential impact of fictional violence on disturbed individuals. Yet, at its core, it was a dark reminder of how easily one individual's obsession could shatter countless lives. Number 2. Purge Night Copycats. The Purge movies are terrifyingly simple. One night a year, all crime becomes legal. Though meant as dystopian satire, some viewers failed to grasp the concept was fiction. Across the US, real-life purge threats surfaced after every movie release, spreading fear through social media and forcing police into heightened alerts. In 2014, Louisville, Kentucky experienced mass panic when teens shared Purge Night warnings online, vowing violent acts and destruction. Stores closed early, families stayed home, and police patrols tripled. Although no major violence erupted that night, the threat alone disrupted an entire city. However, in Florida in 2016, a real incident occurred. A group dressed in Purge-style masks attacked strangers in public, mimicking the movie's brutality. Several victims required hospitalization. These disturbing events showed the dangerous consequences when fiction inspires real-world violence, proving some fans take entertainment far beyond acceptable limits. Number 3. Fight Club in real life. First rule of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club. Yet after the release of David Fincher's 1999 cult classic, real underground fight clubs emerged worldwide. Young men, particularly college students, created secretive gatherings to replicate Tyler Durden's chaotic philosophy. In 2009, the University of Michigan reported multiple serious injuries stemming from underground fighting rings inspired by the movie. Broken noses, concussions, and emergency hospital visits became common. Videos leaked online, showing bloody fights in dorm basements and empty parking garages. Authorities struggled to control these hidden networks. What began as youthful rebellion quickly turned dangerous. Students chasing the thrill and adrenaline from the film overlooked the genuine consequences. Fight Club's fictional violence translated into real-life suffering, a chilling reminder of how quickly obsession with movies can lead to physical harm. Number 4. Slenderman stabbing. In 2014, two 12-year-old Wisconsin girls committed a horrifying crime inspired by Slenderman, a fictional internet character soon featured in a major horror film. Convinced the entity was real, they believed stabbing their classmate would grant them his approval and protection. They lured their friend into secluded woods, stabbed her 19 times, and left her to die. Miraculously, she survived, crawling out of the woods to get help. The attackers were arrested and later committed to mental institutions. Investigators were shocked at the depth of their delusion, directly linked to obsessive belief in a fictional internet character soon heading to Hollywood. This crime sparked intense debate over internet folklore, media responsibility, and how fiction can dangerously warp young minds. The Slenderman tragedy remains a haunting example of fandom taken too far. Number 5. Twilight fan obsession, Robert Pattinson stalked. The Twilight movies weren't just movies, they became a global phenomenon. Teenagers everywhere were passionately choosing sides, Team Edward or Team Jacob. Edward Cullen, played by Robert Pattinson, wasn't just a character, he was a cultural obsession. Fans filled theaters worldwide, wore merchandise, and obsessively followed Pattinson's every move. Most of it was harmless fun, but for Robert Pattinson, the experience soon became incredibly disturbing and invasive. At the height of Twilight mania, Pattinson faced an onslaught of extreme fan behavior. Some admirers crossed lines of privacy and decency, becoming genuine threats. For instance, one fan mailed Pattinson razor blades covered in her own blood, calling it a love token. Another obsessed woman camped outside his filming locations and hotels for days, refusing to leave, convinced they were destined to be together. And these were not isolated incidents. Pattinson found himself routinely mobbed, chased by fans down streets, and subjected to endless intrusion into his personal life. Interviews from that time revealed just how exhausting and unnerving this became. He described feeling like he had joined a weird cult unintentionally. His casual sense of normalcy was completely shattered, replaced by constant paranoia and the looming presence of obsessed admirers. But what's most shocking, and somehow strangely amusing, is how Pattinson eventually chose to deal with one particularly persistent stalker. Fed up with the constant harassment, he did something most celebrities would never consider. He actually agreed to go on a date with this obsessive fan. His logic? If she saw how boring and ordinary he actually was in person, maybe she would lose interest and finally leave him alone. So Pattinson met this overly devoted fan for dinner, and he proceeded to purposely make it the worst date imaginable. Throughout the entire evening, instead of trying to charm or impress, he deliberately complained about every aspect of his life. He spoke at length about mundane frustrations, his issues with fame, the endless paparazzi, how exhausting acting could be, the relentless demands of his schedule, and even trivial annoyances, like hotel pillows being uncomfortable or airline food being terrible. He painted his life not as glamorous, but as tedious, repetitive, and frustrating. His strategy was clever. Strip away the glamour, show the reality behind the celebrity facade, and maybe she'd finally see him not as a vampire fantasy, but as a stressed out, deeply ordinary guy. Remarkably, it worked. After an evening filled with nothing but Pattinson's endless complaints, the fan reportedly left disappointed and never bothered him again. This unusual story speaks volumes about the desperation celebrities can feel when fandom crosses into obsession. Pattinson's method, turning the tables on his stalker by exposing her to the mundane, irritating reality of his everyday life, was risky but effective. Yet the fact that he even felt compelled to take such a drastic step highlights how dangerous celebrity worship can become. It's a powerful reminder of why boundaries between fiction and reality need to stay firmly in place. Movies inspire and entertain, but these 5 cases show just how dangerous obsession can become. Fans must remember that fiction ends where reality begins. Keep your passions safe and respectful. So tell me, which case shocked you most? Have another wild fan story? Drop it below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and remember, movies are entertainment. Let's always keep it that way.